I've been thinking about writing a book. Not a surprise, because I've written some 20 books, so it's pretty likely that I will write another one. And I was thinking that the very first line of my book might be, in 1971, Victor Papanek, a famous designer at the time, wrote a book called Design for the Real World. And the very first sentence of his book was basically, there is no profession more evil than that of design. Interesting start. But then he went on to say, well, actually, maybe there's another profession even more evil than design, and that's advertising. Why? Because advertisers convince people to buy the junk that designers are producing. Now that's very interesting. Now, what did he mean by that? Well, look, I can give you a simple example. Take a cell phone, your mobile. In the United States and in Europe, these can cost about $1,000, which is roughly 1,000 euros as well. These are expensive. And in order to make it, we've had to mine all sorts of exotic materials from countries around the world, destroying the environment in those countries. And when we produce it and manufacture it, we manufacture it in huge plants. There's a major company in China that manufactures almost all of the stuff that companies like Apple produce or design. They have 1 million employees. And so what do they do to the environment there with such huge numbers of people? And then how long does this phone last? They're really designed to be 2 or 3 years. And then you discard it and buy a new one. And can you reclaim some of the expensive materials inside the phone? No, they're not designed for that. It's very difficult to take it apart and to salvage the components, so they're often just thrown into big heaps. I was in India, the city of Ahmedabad, and there's a big mountain of electronic junk in the city that is on fire, spewing poisonous fumes into the air. Why are we doing this? Why are designers designing stuff that destroys the environment in its making and destroys the environment in its replacement? This is what Papanek was really angry at. That first of all, we shouldn't be designing these things. Second of all, we could design it with less difficult material, material that was easier to take out and use again in some other purpose. But we don't. We have these wonderful compound materials. We join wood and leather and aluminum and titanium and all this stuff together in a way that can't be taken apart. Even something like a milk carton that we all use, which is made out of cardboard, can't be recycled because it's covered by a plastic. And to take the plastic off of it, yeah, there are some people who can remove it, but lots of the recycling places cannot separate the plastic from the cardboard. Why can't we do better than that? So why don't designers change what they're doing? Well, here's why. Because designers have no power. Designers have no say in what they're asked to do. Most designers they're great at what they do. They're very skilled. But they're in the middle level of a company, low level and middle level. They very seldom get to say what the company should be doing. And designers work in basically one of 3 places. They work in a university, or they work for a company as part of a design team, or they work in a design consultancy where they have clients. Well, in a university, they're not doing anything, they're teaching. And so actually I think we can forget them for the moment. And in a consultancy, well, you have to do whatever your clients ask you to do. And if you're in the company, well, you have to do whatever your boss or your boss's boss, or maybe the boss of your boss's boss, asks to be done. And when a new product is being developed, almost never is the design team asked to help in defining what the product should be. They're only called in when the problem has already been defined, when we say, here's what we're going to build next. And, oh yeah, designers, do something, make it pretty. That's not right. That's not what we're good at. Why aren't we in a position of authority? And the answer is because we don't train people properly. Design education is flawed in most cases because what we learn in a design education is to be a wonderful craftsperson, to build beautiful, wonderful objects that people love. But we don't worry about the impact on the environment, and we don't learn about the system in which we are designing things. And if you want to be a leader in a company where you get to say what should be built, then you have to actually take a larger point of view. We need to change design education so that people are understanding the nature of business, the nature of the world, the nature of world economics, the nature of trade, the nature of civilization, for that matter, humanity-centered design, so that we can say, look, this product may make us a lot of money, but it's evil for the planet. We must change it. We can't do that. But you have to be in a position of authority to be able to make that happen. And that's why we have to change design education.